Once again, we are back on BRIMS podcast, Pratibimb, means reflection. Like today, again on our platform, we are having Professor Krishnarao Buddha. Sir, thank you very much for spending a valuable time.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, now we are having a series of an discussion and the conversation and trying to clear the concept as well as the logistic management which is concerned. In our last episode, we did spoke in terms of what logistic management is all about and what is the scope of a logistic. So now in this episodes, we are going to talk in terms of how this entire logistic have evolved over a period of time. Like when we talk in terms of as far as before mid 20th century, which is concerned. So it's said that like basically the military concept of logistic, I think, have evolved. Like,
Yes.
So can you throw some light on that?
Yeah, sure. So talking about the military and logistics part, which was like, the say mid 20th century, I would say. The focus was on actually ensuring that the troops reach in time. Okay, the various troops, okay, so which were divided into various battalions or so they reach in time. Not just that, but even their arms and ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be very well coordinated, so that the troops are empowered with all the arms and ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately the entire strategic planning in terms of the destination to be covered was also a very crucial part. So I think that is how initially the logistics started evolving.
Okay.
And from there on we started progressing to, let's say, mid 20th of century logistics, where we sort of further
moved towards the industrial logistics.
Correct. From there on we sort of moved on to the industrialization. That was the phase where India was had started moving on to industrialization. From a strong agricultural economy, we moved on to the industrial economy as well. And that's where again logistics started playing a very crucial role. So as far as industrial logistics is concerned, so various aspects again were to be planned. So right from the industries itself, the positioning of an industry, the manpower involved, and of course the material required for processing of the product. I think that played a very crucial role during the industrial logistics evolution. So and from there on, as we progressed further, we moved on to what is called as
Probably, sir. Now, in fact, like just throwing more insight in terms of as for the industrial logistics which are concerned, it was in terms of an mass production to a certain extent.
Correct.
When you talk in terms of mass production, like in plant material, also like warehousing and the inventory, and also in terms of a cost and efficiency focus.
Absolutely.
So, doing that, can you throw some light on in terms of cost, efficiency, and inventory management?
So that was the time when India was actually deprived of products, and there was a demand for mass production. And that called for better logistics planning. So if you have to go in for masses, because India is such a populous country, that to bring in the overall efficiencies in terms of cost aspects, and to ensure that these products also reach well to the end consumer, there was definitely a lot of, I would say, interdependence on various legs in terms of getting the unfinished material and to get into a finished production. There was a dependency upon equipment as well, the state of art equipment and all, and ultimately churning out the production and ensuring that it reaches, because that was the time when India as an economy was not really, was actually not well connected in terms of any and every aspect of the logistics, be it the roads, the railway network, or even the water-based network. So that was in the process of making actually.
So connectivity was a
Connectivity, yes.
I still remember, like, Bajaj, Hamara Bajaj, and
yes.
So the waiting period was more than 6 months to 1
Yes,
year.
absolutely.
And still the patience of a consumer was there, like, they would like to buy that kind of a product.
True.
So slowly the logistic have shifted from industrial logistic to an integrated. We talk in terms of the functional integration.
Yes.
So can you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So So integrated logistics took shape somewhere around, let's say, the late 20th century or so, where the entire end-to-end, I would say, parts got connected, right from getting the raw material for production.
So all the functional areas.
All the functional areas actually got integrated, be it the packaging, the warehousing, the inventory, okay, and overall, let's say even information management, all of this sort of got like integrated, and they were like linked to one another, and that's when we saw the evolution of the integrated logistics as a subject or as a function, I would say.
Thank you very much for that. And also, when we were having a discussion, like, in the early 21st century,
yes,
that's the time when the supply chain management came into picture. Like we talk in terms of end-to-end solution. Like,
yes.
So can you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So that is relatively, yeah, like you rightly highlighted, the early 21st century is when we saw the evolution of the supply chain management, which is nothing but the complete integration of end-to-end, I would say, solutions in terms of logistics. So right from getting the procurement or the inventory management for the production to warehousing, packaging, and then production, and from there on to sort of getting the data and ultimately delivering to the end consumer, the customer service, so to say.
Correct.
I think all these legs put together is what formed the entire supply chain management.
Yeah, also while having conversation, like, it's basically we talk more in terms of a demand driven, like.
Yes.
So based on forecasting certain demand and all, like how
Correct.
the value can be created as the end customer which are concerned.
Correct.
So that was a part of end supply chain integration.
Absolutely.
But today and beyond, we talk in terms of see how the shift in logistics have taken place. Right from when today we talk in terms of an artificial intelligence, IoT, we talk in terms of a blockchain, we talk in terms of sensor being used, we talk in terms of RFID technology which are there. So as far as the digital logistics which are concerned, can you throw some light more on the digital transformation?
Yeah, so I think we are living in this age where we have seen, witnessed from very close quarters, the complete digital evolution of logistics or supply chain management, where I think information or data has become the starting point.
Right.
Okay, so demand forecast, first and foremost. So the plans, so corporations have gone ahead to actually integrate systems like SAP or ERP into their overall demand management or planning cycle. So these planning cycles, wherein you may have, let's say, I'll give you an example. Somewhere around 2016 or so, Parley actually, where I worked earlier, so Parley came up with the SAP system into the function. So which started bringing in extreme efficiencies. So which means, so for every product, there was a code generated and there was a unique code given, and this file was flashed well in advance, more than 3 months in advance, wherein one started planning for M1, M2, M3. The first month beginning from now, the second month and the third month. So for the third month, it was only, the planning was only for procurement.
Okay.
Whereas for the second month, it was for the delivery of the products. And for the first month, it was for production actually. Okay, so that way it was integrated, and that gave us a better visibility. Once we got a better visibility, we were able to bring in better efficiency in terms of production. So we focused on giving what the customer wanted. Okay, based upon his requirement, we started producing exact quantity, and that brought in lots and lots of efficiencies in every aspect and extreme high level of satisfaction for the customer. So that eliminated lot of wastages, a lot of unproductive work that was earlier being sort of churned, overall making it a very, very clean, lean and efficient system. Okay. Now talking about, like you rightly mentioned, when we sort of started integrating artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, RFID, barcodes is another very, very, barcodes has brought in a big revolution. So speaking about barcodes, especially when we saw new trade coming in. So we have typically the general trade, we have the modern trade, we have the e-commerce, and now the latest buzzword is the Q-commerce. Now with all these channels evolving, and these are all led by large corporates, so they have laid utmost importance especially on barcoding. So barcode now is able to, earlier there were very basic data in barcode.
Correct.
Now GS1, the body which is a global standards body, which has mandated, and we can actually put in extreme level of information onto the barcode.
Good.
So that is in a way linked to the blockchain example earlier that we were talking about. Like for example, so the example that we spoke about, a box of mangoes. So as soon as it is actually packed, okay, it is plucked from the tree, it is packed, the best and the best of the mangoes. Now let us assume, and the information is fed in that, the code, when was it packed, when was it plucked actually, and then from there on, when was it shipped from, so the date of movement from that farm, let's say, to the nearest warehouse. From the nearest, again the receipt of the date of at that warehouse, and then from there on, a next movement, let's say to the ship or the nearest harbor or the port. The date and the receipt, and from the customs clearance and all of that, and from there, the let's say landing to the place of origin or wherever it was intended to be sent. So from there, once it is received by the receiving port, the date again, and from there on to the warehouse, and ultimately to the shop retail and the end consumer, so that the tracking becomes so transparent, so clear, that when was it shipped, and where is the origin, where is it coming from, and how am I, from which farm did I get, all that information getting captured. Likewise, all technology or AI actually is helping us do a lot more predictive, okay, rather than reactive.
So great, sir. I think it's an excellent discussion what we had as how the logistics have evolved over a period of time, right from military logistics to the mid-20th century, we're talking about the industrial logistics, then to the integrated logistics, and then to the supply chain integration, then to the digital platform. I think it was an excellent insight to what we had as far as how it has evolved over a period of time, but I'm sure, I think now the actual logistic management is going to start from here. So do catch up with Krishnarao Buddha ji in our next episode on BRIMS podcast, Pratibimb. This is the kind of content we try and bring for the MBA students, for the corporates, so that they get a more insights as far as a relevant topic or the industry which is concerned. So do catch up with Mr. Krishnarao Buddha, and make sure do like, subscribe BRIMS podcast as much as you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.